Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. Again, we're talking with head men's soccer coach Phil Heinsohn. Coach, you're 7-2 at this point. Are you happy with the team's progress? You had a very young team last year, still pretty young this year. Is your team developing, moving forward in a direction that you were hoping that they would?
We are, but I have a really high standard and high expectations. So we're continuing to work. We're getting better, but we're still not at the point we want to be in. People ask me, well, you're having a great year. To me, we're not having a great year. We're where we should be. I think we let maybe the Flagler game go where we could have won that game. I'm not saying we were better. They're better than we are, but we had opportunities in that game to win, and we didn't take advantage of it. So that's disappointing. I call them opportunity games. The games like that against North Georgia on the road. So we didn't really take advantage of that. So we're getting better, but there's still a lot of things that we got to improve, and the consistency is the key.
Right. So in your opinion, then a great season is one that exceeds your expectations, even if your expectations are pretty high. Then, right?
A great season would be getting deep in NCAA tournaments.
Sure.
So we're far from being great,
But still plenty of games to be played to get to that point. Well, speaking of next up next is a 2-6-1 USC Aiken team, a Peach Belt opponent. They lost 4-0 to Montevallo on Wednesday. Yesterday, sorry. You play them on Wednesday, sorry. Talk a little bit about the Pacers. Where are they strong? Where are some areas you think you might be able to take advantage of? As you and I know, there's no weak links in the Peach Belt. They're all good teams, and even though they're 2-6-1, they're still they can beat you.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent individually. Maybe as a team they don't play as collective as maybe they would want. On set pieces, though, I think that's an area that we can have a lot of success against them. Their maybe concentration on set pieces is not great, and we're quite good at that. We've had to score a lot of goal off set pieces this year, so that's going to be an area in the next couple of days we'll be working a lot on to take advantage of.
Seeing the Braves score a lot on set pieces is something that hasn't happened on this team in quite a few years. Yeah. Usually they haven't been very good, but
we work quite a lot on it. So it's something that if you do them effectively and consistently, then usually you can have success.
You bet. And good set pieces is a way that teams can stay even with teams that have more skill or are better than them. Just ask teams who play Manchester United, for example. They're hoping to do well on set pieces. Aiken is a team that's had a lot of trouble scoring goals as well this season. I think they only have, 9 goals in 9 games now. What are you telling your back four at this point?
Again, it comes back to collectively as a team, we've got to defend and better than we did the other day. The back four was fine, but all 10 field players have got to defend. So I think just it's defensive pressure, because they're the type of players that if you give them time and space, they have a lot of athletes. So we've got to make sure it's difficult for them to get the ball now. If they do get it, they're never facing their own goal or our goal. So that's going to be a big thing we'll work on in training today and tomorrow.
Now, I don't want you to get too far ahead of yourself here, because I know you're focused on the Pacers and pretty much only the Pacers, but you've got a huge out-of-conference game coming up this weekend on Friday against the Coker Cobras. I think they're 8-1 at this point, and this game could have a lot of it could play out a lot as far as the regional rankings and who ultimately goes to the tournament is concerned. Have you thought much about Coker yet, and are you focusing exclusively on the Pacers right now?
To the players, I'm completely focusing on Aiken, but I've seen them play. We've talked a lot to different people about them, so it's going to be a difficult game, and we're actually going to change completely the way we play. I can say that because I know this won't get aired till the weekend, but we're going to completely change the way we play for that one game, because I think you have to be very patient against them. They almost lull you to sleep. There's very little space to play, so we're going to change. I won't say more than that, but we're just going to completely change the way we play for that one game.
Let's hope there's not a Coker spy here in the studio. And your non-conference schedule in general, I mean, you've got Barton coming up, and they're like 7-2. You have a really tough non-conference schedule this year, and when you add that to the difficulty of the Peach Belt as it is, I mean, it's just a brutal schedule.
Well, it just worked out with playing teams in the region rankings, because again, our goal is obviously to make postseason. With Barton being in there as well, the games become even bigger now, for not only for us but for them as well. So yeah, I mean, again, we just got to take it a game at a time, but they're very big games.
We've got about 45 seconds left, Coach. The Peach Belt's wide open at this point. Lander's on top at 3-0, but there's still a number of teams who are fighting for not only to make the tournament but to win the league. Talk about how the conference, in your opinion, is going to play out.
It's hard to say, because there's so much parity between the teams. There's really probably 6 teams right now, and then there's 3 others below them, and we're one of those 6. So our goal still is to get a home game in the first round to finish in that top 4. Even at this point, it's going to be difficult, but that's our goal. If we can do that, then I think we'll be close to making postseason.
Okay, real quick, Coach, who are you following in the European Champions League?
I follow Real Madrid, Barcelona. I think they're by far the 2 best teams in the world.
You can't follow both. You're not allowed to.
No, I do. But
well, that's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.